When I first bought Ghost Recon Wildlands during the recent Steam summer sale, I was laughed at by my fellow lunch table members. Ben said, "Why did you buy such a bad game?" Going even further and still laughing at me, he said, "Me and Jacob already played this during the open beta and it really sucked." You see, this is one of the largest problems in the current gaming industry. If you look at what the words open beta actually mean, they mean simply that a game company is letting actual players try the game in an early build state. It's mostly for bug discovery and resolution. In 2017, this is no longer the case. An open beta is as close as we get now to a demo. This presents a very serious problem. In a demo, at least in the past, it was a thing that was pushed out by devs and a publishing agent when it was ready. These demos were designed to make the game look as awesome as possible. They were highly polished and filled to the brim with content, if you can call it that. Normally they were just a single well-made level. The open beta for Ghost Recon Wildlands was anything than this narrowly defined scope of a demo. It's a lot closer to a true open beta. There's a lot of very visible problems here. The driving sucks, period. It doesn't feel right by any sense of the imagination. Motorcycles are all death traps, flying off hills like rocket ships going into orbit. Cars control like trucks, and trucks control like tanks. Moreover, the weirdness in the way the road physics were handled made everything control as if you were on snow and ice rather than the sand and dirt in Bolivia. Luckily, when you finally get to the snow and ice, at least that feels right. Sync shooting with your fellow AI squad mates felt really broken and overpowered. Little magic bullet trails appear seemingly out of nowhere even close to the actual position of your squad mate. This doesn't mean it was all bad, mind you. There's a lot of good here in the beta. The open world, while very Ubisoft with the endless side quests, if you can really call them that, was rich in color and almost alive. The open world that Ubisoft Paris built here is really fantastic and insanely large. It does feel very Far Cry in the sense that it was built for you, the player, but this doesn't take anything away from the potential of this crazy large map. You truly feel the potential while on the map screen, as you zoom out and you start to realize that every single one of these areas are really open to you from the very start. You can really tackle any one of these cartel leaders in any order that you want. This is the freedom that players crave. But when you try to go to a spot on this huge map, you're faced with a choice that no one should ever have to make in an open world game as large as this one. You have the cars that control like ass, helicopters that control somehow worse, or a motorcycle which... Are you mad? You see, this mix of an open beta and a demo was supposed to build hype for the game and solve bugs all at the same time. This truly backfired in both barrels big time. This open beta failed on both objectives. As you know, the purpose of a beta is to find the bugs and fix them. The purpose of a demo is to build hype around the new game. This open beta got players into an early build of the game that was not ready to be seen by the public. It felt rushed, and not only was it not fun, it was glitchy and bug-ridden. Ubisoft spent a lot of money hyping this game and the open beta, so naturally a lot of players tried it. This led to a sour taste in the mouth. All those bugs, especially the movement-related ones, made that vast open world no fun to move around in. And in those now immortal words of Reggie,
"If it's not fun, why bother?"
The map is huge. It's the whole point of the game, to travel around destroying outposts and enemies like ghost gods. Why bother with the game at all, if moving between these points is not only boring, but downright mind-numbing? This would have been okay if they fixed the issues in the final release, but Ubisoft laughed in everyone's faces and said, "Those aren't bugs, they're features. The sands of Bolivia are supposed to feel like ice. Sync shooting is supposed to feel like you're tagging targets for guided missile strikes." Open betas fail in the demo purpose because they simply don't show the game in the best light. A bug-riddled experience will not make a player want to return, let alone buy that game they were trying. Sadly, some developers are not even using the open beta as it was designed, to fix bugs. Ubisoft released Wildlands on March 7th in 2017. The open beta ended on the 27th of February in the same year. This is less than 2 weeks to resolve any issues found during the beta. That is a joke. But then, out of the dark, limps a game that deserves to be played. One that uses this open beta model not only to solve problems within the game, build hype, but also to make money to improve that game further while doing it. Of course, I'm talking about the only game that I've seen in the recent times do this open beta model correctly. Boom! Updates every week. Bang! Fun game. Shabam! Bug fixes rolled out promptly as reported. Bluehole has put the work into the back end of this game. This has shown everyone else not only how to do the model correctly, but how to make money while doing it. The reason why this worked and Wildlands didn't is twofold. PUBG has been consistently updated for 16 weeks in a row. On top of that, monthly updates, just cuz. I cannot say that Bluehole cares more about their game than Ubisoft Paris did, but it certainly seems like it. Ubisoft had the open beta run roughly 1 to 2 weeks before the launch of the game. Bluehole stated that their game would be in a near complete state in about a year. The open beta model can work, and don't get me wrong, PUBG was literally unplayable even on mid-tier systems for weeks prior to the first major performance update. But at least they fixed it. This brings me to my next point. To this date, flying a fucking helicopter in Wildlands is the most infuriating thing in the gaming world next to maybe playing Jackbox with the lunch table group. PUBG is far from a perfect game, and even in a complete state, who knows if it'll be perfect. I can write 2 separate reviews on both games. Maybe later I will. This review is centered on this problem. Ubisoft recently attempted to fix how the helicopters control. Let's see how they control now. That's so close. You guys will figure it out one day. The open beta dilemma will strike again. We all know that it can be done a right way and a wrong way. Who will step up to the plate next?